is set to hike prices of broken rice that is used in manufacturing of ethanol. Sale of rice to distilleries for the production of ethanol will now be done at 2,320 rupees per quintal versus 2,250 rupees per quintal earlier. This is likely to take place with effect from the 1st of October this year. But what does this mean for the ethanol industry? To understand exactly that, we are now joined by Dr. C.K. Jain, President at Grain Ethanol Manufacturers Association, or GEMA, now joining us. Mr. Jain, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. Several reports which suggest that prices of rice, which is used for ethanol manufacturing, that is broken rice, could be increased. If you can break this down for us, how much could the increase be and how will it impact margins for the industry?
Thank you, Manisha, and ET viewers giving me the time for this. Actually, the government decision to release 52 lakh old rice stock, it is a old rice stock, for next year is a long awaited and welcome step by the industry. But at the same time, the increasing the price is not the right step. Correct? Now, Bharat is a grain surplus country that everybody knows. And stopping the surplus grain to grain ethanol industry led to creation of non-edible surplus stocks not suitable for human consumption, currently adding pressure to FCI storage infrastructure. So GEMA had always been pointing out that if government has to sustain 20% blending target, then only three feedstocks, those are sugarcane, broken rice, and maize will not fulfill the requirement. It has always pointed out that there shall be additional requirement of 60 lakh tons of grain. And I think government has taken this view in account and released 52 lakh tons to sustain the prestigious EVP program, blending program, 20%. Ethanol sector, as ethanol sector has been a reliable offtake partner for Indian grain farmers, right? Surging grain demand, especially maize, rice, broken rice, is directly increasing the grain farm level income and supporting the rural economy. The step of releasing 52 lakh ton will create liquidity in grain chain across the entire value, like ethanol, feed, starch, etc. And it will ease, which was facing tightness for last 1 year. You can estimate that it is not the rice which the human is consumed. It is totally different and unusable for that. Today we are lifting rice produced in 22, 23, 3 years ago, which is not fit for human consumption. Either that had gone rotten, or we are converting into value addition. Grain farmers will not flourish until grain become a feedstock for industry. And the ideology is that food versus fuel is a big flop. And it has to go from our country. I've seen all the developed country, it is agro-based industry. They are very flourishing. Whereas whenever there is some industry comes in picture, we start food for fuel, food this and that. Farmers have to improve. But if there is a certain buyer for anything, then farmers have to improve their yield quality for their own benefit. But now the question remains whether OMC will recognize this price increase or not. If they don't recognize, it will be a complete failure. Earlier also they issued 24 lakh tons in September at 28 rupees, zero lifting. Currently, they also issued 52 lakh tons.
Understood.
Lifting is hardly 20 lakh tons. So all those things are mismatch. What
Understood.
price FCI wants and what price OMC wants.
That
Both
was
have to come on same line.
That was exactly my next question with respect to ethanol prices. Now that raw material prices are likely to increase, have
Yes.
you as an association already appealed for increase in ethanol prices as well? Because I believe those prices have not been changed for the last several months or years rather. If you can
Yeah.
tell us, how have ethanol prices trended and what's the outlook going forward?
Look, there is a formula for FCI rice which was built up by the OMC 4 years ago. And in that formula, they said ki we'll take 20 rupees and pay you 58 rupees. But now instead of 20 rupees, they did 22.5. And now they have done 23.2. So how can you expect ki 7, 8 rupees difference can an industry sustain? Industry work on 2% maximum. So we have requested, not only now, we had always been requested, please make a please understand the situation of ethanol industry is a prestigious program. Ethanol blending is a prestigious program for the country. You know, the country, everybody overseas are asking how the India could do it in short period. That is definitely the effort of Honorable Prime Minister by which it could be done. But anyway, we had been saying that make the price conducive, whatever it is. 23, it means at least 4 to 5 rupees should be increased from 58.50. Then this will be lifted. Otherwise, again, it will be not lifted, it will go rotten. Right now, we are
Understood.
lifting 22, 23 crop.
Hmm.
So what will happen of this or 275 lakh tons excess stock? What will happen if we are
Understood.
not?
Understood. So that's as far as ethanol prices are concerned. But Mr. Jain, one last question with respect to the outlook going forward. We have already achieved that 20% ethanol blending. But going forward, do you believe grain-based ethanol will be a major driver as compared to the other sources of ethanol?
100%. At the moment, even in 23, 20, 24, 25, we are supplying around 62% of the total ethanol requirement. Grain is a Grain is the one thing which can only suffice 20% blending the targets. Sugarcane alone is not sufficient. It is hardly 30%, and they have got capacity constraint. I mean, sugarcane cannot grow humongously, but there is a big scope in improving grain farming, grain yield, grain yield per hectare, grain quality, starch increase. There is a immense scope. Now the industry has come to as a big buyer and regular buyer. So the farmer will get benefit of it. There is no doubt about it. Grain is an important factor to maintain 20%. We have also requested now grain capacity has increased a lot. Grain capacity has gone up to 1200, 1400, whereas the requirement is only from grain is 800. So we are asking you increase the blending, at the same time give the arrange for the feed stock, and that they have got immense feed stock. Our country is surplus, you know it.
Okay, so that's as far as the ethanol blending program is concerned. Mr. Jain, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now today and helping us understand what the outlook is for ethanol blending industry.